Chapter 18, The Plan. Okay, gents, down to business time to start making plans for the final attack. Okay, gents, down to business. Time to start making plans for the final attack. Cast your eyes over here to the model of the target I've made on the floor. Let us go over the plan one step at a time. As we discussed, this will be a two-pronged attack. I will split these down in a moment. Objective to remove as many people from the location as possible, either willingly or by deadly force. Rescue Abbie if she is here, and lastly, collect the envelope from Henry's safe. Once all this has taken place and the mission completed, head back to London via St. Bethany. Drop-off first light tomorrow morning is around 5:30. We'll need to be in a relevant starting position before then. You will be dropped off first, George, at the same place as at the start of the OP phase, drawing a line on the ground with a stick from our present location to the drop-off point. Simon and I will return back here, concealing the Land Rover before heading up the coast again following the route we took today. Bearing in mind the time it took us and the driving time for dropping off, George. This will commence at 3 o'clock. George, once dropped off, proceed to a location where you can conceal yourself close to the wire fence, ready to make an entry once you hear the attack underway. The signal will be when I fire at the first person. Once in, you will need to gain access and deal with any of the occupants. Once you've done this, dispatch the people at the gate and the dog. Then take up a sniper's position on the roof of the gatehouse, where you will have 3 objectives. First, as people flee out of the warehouse, make sure they can't take part in any more activities. Second, when you see Simon run to the back of the house, shoot anyone who runs out the front door. Any questions so far?
Not at the moment.
Comes the reply from George. What about you, Simon?
I've got a question or more of a point. George, make sure when I come running out of the store, don't take fucking aim.
Third, when you have made the call and are satisfied, nobody else could run out from the house that you need to shoot, join us inside the house, making sure you enter from the rear. Would hate to put a bullet in you. The route to the vineyard when we arrive back here after dropping off George. After concealing the vehicle, we will make our way briskly along the shoreline close to the tree line. No need to hide our movement. Earlier, it took us about 50 minutes to get to the boathouse, and that was in daylight. Tomorrow we'll be making our way in the darkness. Staying on the sand, we should be able to cover the ground flat out. On arrival, we will only pause fleetingly to ensure nobody is about. On reaching the corner of the field, I will continue to my location while Simon positions himself around the back of the warehouse. Any questions on anything up to now?
Not from me.
Nor me.
Okay, gents, let us move on to the assault part of the mission. The attack will be initiated by me once I have all 3 dog handlers and their pooches in the field and in my sights. Once I confirm this, I will take down all 3 and anyone else I see. This is your signal to make your entry into the gatehouse and the warehouse from the rear. Warehouse Simon, you will enter from here, again pointing to the model on the floor. Once inside, any people you find in there will need to be dispatched with extreme prejudice. Don't worry about people running out. George will sort the problem out. Once you have made sure there is nobody who could impede the mission, ensure no vehicles you find are operational apart from one. Entry to the house when there is no further threat from the people in the growing fields. I will sprint as fast as my short legs will take me across the marijuana field to the back of the house, disposing of anyone who gets in the way. On arrival, I will wait to be joined by Simon. On gaining entry via the patio doors, we will start to clear the rooms on the ground floor, only making our way to the cellar after being joined by George. The upstairs is to be made safe once we are satisfied with the basement, and lower levels are checked and cleared of any bad guys. Rescue of Abbie. Once we have located her, we need to remove her to a place out of harm's way. This could well be the cellar until we are ready to leave. Talking of Abbie, if we manage to catch hold of Sam, he must be kept alive and handed over to the police on St. Bethany. This man needs to suffer for a long time, not given the satisfaction of a rapid death from a bullet to the head. Retrieval of the envelope. According to Henry, the package is in the safe situated in his study. Simon, do you have the combination?
Yes, here on my mobile.
Write the number down. The last thing we need would be a loss of your phone or you, and give each of us a copy.
Roger.
After locating the study and removing any obstacles, I will open the safe while Simon reads out the combination, and George covers the door. Withdrawal as soon as we have Abbie, the envelope and possibly Sam. We will make a tactical retreat. On leaving the house, there should be one of the vehicles out the front. If not, we take one of the cars from the warehouse. Simon, make sure you leave one working. This can be made inoperable as we go. Soon as we are clear of the property, we will drive the route Simon Recce to the inlet, where hopefully Derek is waiting. Continuity plans. If anything so should go wrong, we will take the following actions. The most critical is if anyone becomes injured and unable to continue before the attack, they are to make their way to the Land Rover. If the assault is underway, RV at the gatehouse. God forbid I'm killed before the initial raid. Simon, take my place on the water tank. Once we arrive at the inlet and if Derek is not there with the boat, after waiting no more than 30 minutes, we will make our way to the port ready for the flight already planned back to St. Bethany. By any chance, if we find Hadley still in the house and hasn't escaped, not sure. We will deal with this situation as it arises. I'm expecting him to make a run for it the moment any shooting starts. Is everything clear in your minds, gents? If not, ask now, as everything tomorrow needs to go like clockwork if we are all going to get out of this alive.
Regarding the Land Rover, are you going to rig this to explode, Steve? Would be handy to know if we need to use the vehicle and you're not about?
Hadn't thought about it, Simon, but now you mention it, this is what I'll do. I will half fill both rear lights with petrol after breaking the glass of the bulb, ensuring the element is not damaged. Under the brake lights, we'll run a plastic tube making sure it is not visible. This will be full of fuel leading to one of the jerry cans. Now once someone drives off and presses the brakes, boom.
One question leading on from Simon's. How do we disarm this if you're not around, Steve?
We'll leave 2 wires hanging under the dash, if you know where you are looking, that is. Just separate the cables to break the circuit. If you two have no more questions, I would suggest you check your equipment. George, nearly forgot, if you take the LMG, we'll give support in your sniper position. Every person now ran through every tiny detail until the plan ran step by step in their minds as they prepared their kit in silence. Make it around 6 hours to go time. I make that 2 each for stag duty. George, you take the first stag, and I'll take the last one. Seemed like the 4 hours have flown by so rapidly without me getting any real sleep. Not that it was easy on the night before any battle to do any sleeping, your mind was always mulling things over. Ammo was checked and placed in jacket pockets and fastened to ensure nothing would fall out. So nothing to do but listen to the quietness and silent night, watching the shadows of the night flicker in the moonlight. Time for thinking was now over. Time to get up, boys, it's go time.